I've always played with a chip on my shoulder. I'm motivated by proving myself right, not others wrong. Some of the words Bryce shared with us last night up on stage whilst collecting yet another NBL MVP trophy. What do you say when your teammates with a once-in-a-generation talent? Nothing. You're usually oblivious to it. You're aware they're the best player in the team, even the league, but you don't appreciate just how special they are until you're removed from the game and realise just how much you took for granted. It became the norm. If you were to see a unicorn once, you'd be blown away. See one every day and the wow factor subsides because it's in front of you so often. That's at least how playing alongside Bryce Cotton was for me. There were things he did at training that if you saw it for the first time, you would be gobsmacked. When it's done day after day at training and then again during games, we simply thought, that's just Bryce. Now removed from seeing him daily, it's like I'm seeing that magical, mythical animal again for the first time. Except now I appreciate not just what he does on the court, but the man he is off it and the hurdles he's had to overcome to get to this point. 4 MVP awards in 8 years. Whilst impressive, it still doesn't tell the whole story. Told he was going to die by the time he was 11 due to a rare form of epilepsy means he's proved people wrong from day one and doesn't take anything in life for granted. Told he was too small to play Division I collegiate basketball, he received only one offer, mainly to help the team's academic scores, and he finished his career at Providence, a 2-time Big East scoring champ. Told he was too small to play at the next level, he played for the Austin Spurs in the D-League, registering 2 40-plus point games that season and averaged 22.3 points per game, which was the third best in the league. He played games with the Utah Jazz, Phoenix Suns and Memphis Grizzlies. His most success coming over the final 4 games of the season while playing for the Jazz, where he averaged over 14 points a game and dropped an NBA career-high 21 points versus the Dallas Mavericks. Whilst everyone thought he would sign a multi-year deal in the NBA, it wasn't to be. Off to China he went, then Turkey, and playing in the EuroLeague seemed to be where Bryce was going to spend most of his career. A terrorist attack in Turkey led to Bryce wanting to leave. He had a couple of options: go play in Asia, earn a lot of money, or head to a city he'd never heard of called Perth, where the team was currently sitting last on the ladder and probably only had 8 games remaining before the season would end and he could go and enjoy a long off-season back home in Tucson, Arizona. Then he could decide where to go next. He thought a trip to Australia sounded appealing. That's when I got to meet him. That long off-season didn't happen. He had 26 points on debut. He was amazing. He got offered a 10-day contract by the New Orleans Pelicans back in the NBA. He said no to that. He would have missed games in the NBL and not played enough to qualify for finals. He said no. He had a contract to honour with teammates he'd just met. A man of morals. He guided the Wildcats to 6 wins in their final 8 games, which was enough to get into the postseason. He then took us all the way to the grand final, dropped 45 points in the deciding game in a best-of-3 series versus Illawarra and named grand final MVP. That's where the legend of Bryce Cotton began. Our unicorn had arrived and the Red Army loved his magic. So did his teammates. Talking his numbers is straightforward. He has been the NBL scoring champ 7 consecutive years. He and Andrew Gaze are the only 2 players with 4 or more NBL MVPs. Gaze has 7. Bryce now has 4, but it's the intangibles and who he is as a person that sets him apart. Good luck to getting to know him on day 1. You have to earn his trust, his love, his respect. You do that and you'll be allowed into the life of a truly remarkable person. Kind, funny, intelligent, loyal, considerate, a husband, a father, a son and a friend. He may not say much, but when he talks, trust me, he's worth listening to. Thank you, Bryce, for instilling confidence in your teammates, in me. Every time I step foot on the court, I believe to the core of me we're going to win. I felt 10 feet tall and unbeatable next to my teammate, who was one of the shortest in the league. Thank you for always wanting more. Not content with one championship, as he once told me, the high of winning a championship simply fades. The low of losing or disappointing your teammate lingers and cuts deep. It stays with you forever. He works hard for a number of reasons, one of which is to never let his teammates down. He wears the burden of losses too much and he doesn't take enough credit for the wins. There's people who talk the talk but then crumble when the bright lights are on and a win is on the line. There are others who have a belief in themselves that has been earned from never taking a shortcut and working for everything. So when the bright lights are on and the game is on the line, they want the ball in their hand, and more often than not, they deliver a big play and get you the victory. There's no one else I would rather have in that position, ball in hand, clock winding down, than Bryce. Each MVP is special for Bryce, for their own reasons, some more so than others. Years ago, someone close to Bryce, someone he loved, lost their life. He wanted to win one for them. He did. When he had retiring teammates, myself included, he wanted to win one for them. He did. His disciplines off the court with his body are incredible. The sacrifices he makes are inspiring. His ability to play the way he does with so much pressure on him is uncanny. The Wildcats unicorn is special. The best I've played alongside in the red jersey. Don't take a day, a game, or anything for granted, because what we see is also often could quickly be taken away. We may not get a player or person like him again, and he still has plenty left to go. But when it does come to an end, remove that chip off your shoulder, mate. Smile and be proud of it all. Thank you, Bryce. Now bring on the finals.